The show Africa Sport On makes its return again on Your World of Champions. Just after we are away from continental displays as regards the CAF Champions League and CAF Confederations Cup on the continent. Well, good thing for the club sides who are doing pretty well on the start of the group stages. But we are away from all of that. We're talking quite a number of other sports as regards Africa Sport. And first and foremost, we've been talking about the okpekpe race, and finally came, and it was an interesting ride out. We'll talk about that on the show. Don't forget, also, we've got the West African Golf Tour, and this time around, the organizers call it the Memorial. We'll be talking about that. Of course, we've got Shola Lonson, who'll be joining us on the show. It's a really wide spread and some interesting one also. Maybe boxing might just step into the game. Thanks for always being a part of the show. We dearly appreciate that, and to get us going on the show. Thanks for always joining us live on Your World of Champions Super Sport. The show is Africa Sport On. If you're just watching it for the very first time, it is the show that brings you everything sporty as regards West Africa. This is what we have to offer on the show this evening in our port. And very quickly, it has to do with the 5th edition of the Okpekpe Road Race. It's 10 kilometers, a whole lot of excitement. And of course, we had our cameras down there. We'll be talking about that very shortly. We've got boxing, the WBO and the IBO heavyweight king, Anthony Joshua, who's basically calling for support to rally around Larry Kundayo. Larry was with us a few months ago on the show, and it's good to see that another brother is actually supporting his brother to say, you know what, Nigerians, let's rally around at this man for the Commonwealth crown. We've got the West African Golf Tour. It's third leg as it is for this year. I will see how that one fares. And the entertainment hangout, Akugbe Kruna, where if you remember him, he will be doing his style basically on the show this evening. His name is Dot Man, and I'll be catching up with him very, very shortly. Don't forget, you can get interactive with us on the show with our Twitter handle at Africa_Sporton with the hashtag AfricaSporton. I'll be delighted to hear what your thoughts are on some of the things we'll be talking about. Mr. Furniture is in the building, according to Yoruba people in this part. And Mike Mayaki, how you doing, man?
I'm great, Moses. It's a splendid weekend. It was. We had, at least, we were on a function together. We had a nice time out there. My thought about you was, it's a pity you couldn't be at Okpekpe because you couldn't divide yourself into two and see your queen at Okpekpe and still be with people like us. But the joy was that Okpekpe did hold, and it went very, very fine. You
know, that's why I like to have you on the show, Mike, because you understand my usefulness and the fact that the sacrifice I make just to make, you know, whatever it is we do, very, very functional.
That's
so,
Saint Moses
yeah,
talking.
I feel bad for my queen, but all the same, you know, queen will catch up some other time. Tunde Koiki finally makes his way down here. This is one man I enjoy listening to on Beat FM. And Tunde, it's a delight seeing you do this with me on the show. How are you doing this evening?
I'm fabulous. It's been long overdue. Just don't take this the wrong way. It's high praise for you, but always wanted to share a set with Moses Praise. So I think
with that, I will put a memo through and see if we can find somewhere in Supersport for today. This man is excellent, I will tell you that. All right, guys, let's quickly jump into what to expect, or rather what happened on the weekend. It was the 5th edition of the Okpekpe Road Race, 10 kilometers, how things went down there. Absolutely exciting to see thousands of runners come through and a clean sweep for the Ethiopians. Not like it came as a surprise, but I think the beauty of it all was, I mean, we will talk about this later on as regards the women, where a Nigerian female runner made it into the top 8.
Not too surprised. Deborah Pam is from Plateau State, it's a Birom name. And those people are famed for long distance running. Way back, there was this 24, you know, you run out of it 24 times. They call it a school marathon then. There was this guy, after the 20th lane, they called him Gojo then. You need to see the speed with it. I wondered if he was human. The joke then was that if you eat dog meat, you know, you'll be quite good at this. But that Gojo was something else. But along the line, I got to know people from Plateau State, Kaduna State, Adamawa, and the rest of them are quite good at long distance races. I'm not too surprised that Deborah Pam ran very, very well. She didn't do too badly. I mean, 38 minutes or thereabout.
All right, today let's talk more about the elite athletes. I think they have actually made this race what it is. It's a bronze label race, the only bronze label race in Nigeria. And with how the innovations that is coming into it, I mean, I'm sure in the next couple of years, it might become a silver label race.
Yeah, I'm hoping so, because marathons are beginning to become the rage all across Nigeria right now. Of course, you know about the Lagos City Marathon. There's a Ibadan Marathon as well. There's one in Warri. Marathons are just seem to be springing up everywhere. And some people have said that the fastest way to open up the public space of any country is through a marathon, because it opens up everything. You can it brings attention to a major city or a major location. That's why you have the Boston Marathon, the London Marathon, the Berlin Marathon. There are over 500 marathons all across the world every year. And, you know, once this continues to grow the kind of traction that it has, I mean, this is the 5th edition, hopefully it might get to that silver label that you just talked about.
All right, Luel Gebrselassie with a time of 29.28 minutes. Very importantly, I think most of the Ethiopians, or rather the East Africans, they tend to struggle a bit with the humidity that this place offers.
Remember I said this last time out. I said, listen, if we get favorable weather, that means on a day humidity is not too high, we'll get excellent timings. Unfortunately, it was quite hot on the day, but that notwithstanding, 29-28 is kind of commendable. He did say it himself that he could have done better if not for the high humidities. But all in all, he commended the race and had very positive things to say about okpekpe, the organization, security, and whatever about it. So I think it's another positive, another big plus for us, another big plus that, listen, this race is on its way to being a silver medal race. None of these guys so far has complained that he's come this way and nothing. The lane, the lane is quite good, talking about the road itself. Well partitioned. For me, that's what keeps this race going for me. The fact that it's pretty well organized. You can see, you don't have people interfering. All the hospitality joints along the road, you have enough water, you have people, and these are standards. You've got the physiotherapists, whatever you want along the road. And for me, that's how, and what about this for wonderful scenery? I mean, you keep running over and over and over again around this.
This is my problem today, because I mean, if I were to be part of this race, I'll basically be stopping for selfies. The scenery is absolutely amazing. The topography, it's ridiculously awesome. I mean, I'm looking at that, I'm thinking, you know what, I'm just going to take a pause. I'm saying, look, you can't beat the time. I said, well, it's not like everybody's beating the time. To think that you can run for a course. Before this race, I was going to run for the Queen because Miss Nigeria took part. She was in the studio. I said I will run for her. You know, but I'm sorry. If I see that scenery, I'm like, baby, let me catch up with you later. I need to do this selfie. That's the beauty that we have to offer there. This basically opens up not just okpekpe, but Edo State and Nigeria at large to what we have to offer in this climb.
Exactly, and that's what I was talking about. About, you know, the fastest way to open up any city is not through football, it's not through basketball, it's not through any of these sports are held in a single venue, in a sports hall. It's either through Formula One or through a marathon. And that is why a lot of countries place a lot of emphasis on having marathons. It opens up the...
Let me be sure I heard you clearly. You said Formula One, right?
Yeah, Formula One. I mean, for example,
No, I just want to be sure you said Formula One in Nigeria.
No.
No, that might come in time to come.
Someday. But you do know about the Monaco Grand Prix. You know about the Baku Grand Prix
I know about all of those places, but I'm just thinking, you know, as you said it, it seems to be clashing with my reasoning in Nigeria.
In Lagos.
Like Formula One here.
There's something you did around Edo State, remember? In time to come. For me, you know, I told his line. Most of the hotels in Auchi, excuse me, for 2 days or thereabouts, they were fully booked. Some of the hotels around Irekme and surrounding areas. Now, that's business, commercial business for all those people. That's something they could latch up on. Apart from the hotels, the roadside sellers, who of course have gone to the farm, they'll bring some of their food stuff to the roadsides. And of course, people going to Benin will easily buy. And those things are damn cheap. You know, for them, it's big money. It's not every day you see elites come to your locale. The governor's coming, the the past governor is coming. For them, it's a feast. The local chiefs, you need to see where they were well dressed for this occasion because it happens once a year. And that, for them, is their Christmas coming earlier than December.
Oh, well, the first Christmas before the very second one that will come later on. But let's look at what the prize money had to offer. It was $15,000 for the winner, both male and female. And congratulations, no doubt, to them. And, of course, there are prizes that cascaded down to the 8th place team. There you have the governor, His Excellency Godwin Obaseki there. I think they were playing music at the same time because they were basically dancing with the trophy to the winners in that part there. But no doubt, good prize money. And for Deborah Pam and Elizabeth Nuhu, who finished 7th and 8th overall, of course, they fell into the category where they also can get, aside from the 250,000 naira that she gets for winning first place and 100,000 naira for Elizabeth Nuhu for winning second place, they get $2,000 and $1,500 respectively.
Which is even more than...
Yeah. Absolutely, and for Deborah Pam, she's had a phenomenal 2017 so far. She was, I think, the top finisher in the Lagos City Marathon as well. She also won the Ibadan Marathon as well.
She was third, actually,
she was
in the Access Bank Lagos City Marathon.
Yes. So,
but the interesting thing is she won 2015 Okpekpe Road Race, won 2016 Okpekpe Road Race. It's more or less become her race.
It's become her race, and she's gradually building a culture as the top marathon athlete in Nigeria. And if she continues that consistently, probably gets the kind of backing that she wants. Maybe who says that she can't go and compete in probably international marathons abroad?
We could talk about all the economic benefits that this race brings to bear. Bottom line is it developing our athletes? If it's not developing our athletes, then, I mean, it looks as though what we're basically doing is setting up some entertainment value and benefiting from it. But the truth is, it is benefiting our athletes.
I think it does. Look at the man who won in the male category, that's among our own.
Jigal Monday.
Monday Jigal.
He's the first timer.
First time. He said, listen, I was encouraged by a former champion to do this. Haven't done this. Look at what I've done. In fact, I'm going to spend most of my resources that I won in this race to develop myself. Perhaps the only thing he didn't say was that he was going to pack, his properties and start living around okpekpe so that he get used to the terrain as for next year. It kind of encouraged him. In fact, the Honorable Minister was there. He had to say, listen, most states in Nigeria should copy what these guys have done. That because you are opening up the areas, you are making a lot of people busy. When you have nothing less than 2,000, 1,000 people actually do the run, you have a lot of people come to watch the race. You are taking them away from, apart from vices, you are taking them from other things. You are making them busy. And you are creating a culture of being fit and healthy, apart from running for courses and the rest of them.
You're also creating businesses.
So for me, you are opening up not just economic ideas, but also health-wise, you're also benefiting the community.
Today, I did speak about this last week with Darius, who's the spokesperson for the Okpekpe Road Race, and maybe I should throw this at you because, and this is my thinking, basically, just running through my brain. The winner gets $15,000. The first Nigerian to cross the line gets 250,000 naira. The disparity, I think, it's ridiculous. It's way too far. Now, I'm not saying they should earn the same, but I'm saying, can it be bettered? I mean, even if you said the winner, the first Nigerian to cross gets $1 million naira, I think that's the far because if you convert at 300 naira to $1, that's about 5 million naira compared to 250,000 naira.
I totally agree with you. But then again, you must remember that actually the prize monies for this year's Okpekpe Marathon was actually reduced. It used to be $20,000 in the past, but it's $15,000 now. So I'm guessing the organizers probably have issues regarding the prize money. But the good thing is there is still a prize money available for many of these athletes. And like you rightly said, maybe if they increase it to like $1 million naira, it will probably increase, the participation of Nigerian athletes as well. But going beyond that, there must be a cost-benefit analysis of the Okpekpe Road Race. What benefit is it giving back to the people of Edo State? The Boston Marathon brings $8 million into the economy of the city of Boston every year. What can we measure that in terms of what the value it has brought to the people of Okpekpe and Edo State? So that's what I'd like to know. Are we spending money for the sake of spending money, or are we spending money to develop not only athletes but also to develop the economy of the areas?
Mike?
What my take about this, talking about the economic benefits of this, perhaps later you get to see this. The locals in that area, because of these charities that get involved, they want to empower the locals. You see a set of ladies that have come, a bank that was part of the sponsors, they say, listen, we're going to choose 20 ladies, and these ladies, we're going to give them makeup kits and the rest of them. Next year, we'll come and see how far they've gone. Now, if you follow the world of makeup, I don't really do. I mean, in areas like Auchi, Irek, and the rest of them, those areas, when you say village, those who make, there are things they call naming ceremonies, they call them suna, that's in those areas. You have wedding ceremonies. People make up, people draw designs on their bodies and the rest. So these women are being empowered. And for them, that's an economic lifeline. So this bank is coming to every year, 20 people, 20 ladies they are coming to do that for. Now, were it not for this race, that wouldn't have come up. We've talked about the hotels in that area. We talk about the local food. The farmers are going to bring their food stuff they've harvested, especially for this. Now, all of that is imparting. You see, when you talk about the Western world, what they do is that most of these businesses know that, listen, they're going to be all around the world. There's going to be TV, there's going to be all of that. And these races have been there for 50, 60 years. We are just beginning. I think with time, all this will catch up. You have more than the sponsors you do have now. So I think they've really done well for just 5 editions of it, and they've gone this way. I think it'll be awesome when we get to 15 or thereabout, considering the drivers like Mikey Tamagbo around the event.
And I'm going to ask a very, very straight question, and I know Mikey Tamagbo is watching me as I say this. We've seen the former governor of Edo State take part in this. I'm talking about Comrade Adams Oshomole. We're seeing the current governor taking part with this, the deputy governor, the wife of the governor, all of them are taking part and are running the marathon. Mike, Why are you always at the end?
Mike is an organizer now.
Why don't you? He should run the
Mike
race.
played football in time pass, if you don't know. He played football
See,
in
you
time
are saying in the time pass. We're talking now. Did the governor run the marathon in the time pass?
Well, Mike
He's
is the
still
organizer.
running. Mike Itamagbo, you should be part of that.
Someone
and I
has
think
to sit behind the scenes and ensure that things go
Things go well.
yeah, he has people getting things. He should be on the racetrack. Mike, you should be on that race, on that road, taking part. I know you are the organizer, fine. But you know what? Even if you do 1 kilometer, let's just see
That's
you
fine.
do it.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see. Okay? And that's my message to you, Mike Itamabo. Don't get me into trouble. All right, we did have our cameras down there, and enough of the talk up here. Let's just take you guys down to Okpekpe and see how the action went down.
It was an East African clean sweep. Little or no surprises, as that has been the case since the Okpekpe road race 10 kilometers started 5 years ago. Nigerian road runners, not among the best in the world by any imagination, have had years of association with the race, rubbing off positively on them. For the first time, a Nigerian had a share of the dollar and naira price categories. Deborah Palm came in 7th overall to pocket $2,000 for her position and another 250,000 naira for being the first Nigerian female to cross the finish line. But Okpekpe road race has never been about running alone. So many activities were injected into the 10-kilometer stretch of the race. Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki followed in the footsteps of his predecessor, Adams Oshiomhole, by finishing the grueling race. Governor Obaseki ran in support of over 30 orphanages in Edo State and commended others who, through their participation, brought awareness to other causes.
I decided to run for the orphanages. We have about 30-something of them in Edo State. Some people chose to run for cancer, that is to raise money for the cure of cancer. And our patriotic students from the Ambrose Ali University decided to run against cultism. It is important that apart from the health that you derive from this sort of race, that it has more meaning than just running.